Hello and welcome to a Smurd video, and yes, I must apologize. I should have given this video, got it done a few weeks ago. However, life and work and all that jazz got in the way. Hello Darkness, issue 6 is here to stay. A bit Christmassy then, well, January. Actually, we're in February now, so anyway, let's get into it. So let me get my camera into a decent position. So the Christmas log written by Steve Orlando, Into the Mines by Justina Island, Aileen Drowned by Sass Milledge. She must be doing the artwork as well, I guess. I Can't Take You Anywhere by Robert Hack, and The War Part 6 by Garth Ennis, which I think is still the star of these books. However, I do enjoy these one-shots. So our story begins with the Christmas log. A son has came back after being away for the year to see his mother, and she's got out the Christmas log, which is a important part of their culture and tradition in terms of getting presents. So his mum says, "Are you going to see any old friends while you are here?" But unfortunately, Manuel didn't have a good time in school. However, he's gone on, well, to the dark time. And he talks about the chocolate log. He talks about things that happen so that he gets presents. He also talks about the big bully who didn't recognize him, who everybody adored back in school. I'm sure there are plenty of those that people have experienced over the years. Unfortunately, that has sometimes affected their lives as adults. However, Manuel has taken it to a whole new thing. So he reminds Hank of the way that he treated him, made him feel like he was a piece of crap, etc. And then he talks about the log, that you have to stuff it, so to speak. So next morning, Christmas Day, he is up bright and early. He is ready, but so is Mum. I think he's surprised. He wasn't expecting that, but Mum says she's got to glaze the ham, etc. But he says, "You know what? I'm gonna go get some wine. Now I'll be an hour's tops." So, he's got to get his hands on Saint Red. I guess alluding to what he's about to do. Now there is something about beating the log. Beat the log until it, I'm gonna swear here, I don't usually swear in video, it shits presents. So that's interesting. So yeah, well, he beats him to death, basically beats him to death. It's over in a few things. So he stuffed him the day before, and then he's beating him as his punishment, and then he sings his little song whilst in the shower, and then he goes back home, where he greets his mum with some flowers. He forgot the wine, but he's finally ready to celebrate. So he's able to let go those childhood traumas. However, he's become an absolute psycho killer, which is bonkers and great. I've got to commend this cover. This cover built from, I can't remember whether it's clay or putty, but absolutely a brilliant cover, and was one that I had to have. So our next one is Into the Mines. So these two are running one of the and bear in mind, this is 1853. So there is obviously slaves and race discrimination. So just be aware if you're reading this. It is in a time that is different to our world now, where hopefully a lot more people are more accepted of different cultures and people. So the older gent can't escape, but his friend is intending to come back for him. Tom is going to come back for him. So he's captured, he's punished by Mr. Shaw's minions, and then he talks about the people that don't go back. He was running away from the monsters, so that's where the story really begins. He's like, well, let's go see it. We lost a couple of people down there, and you know what? It doesn't end very well indeed. He ends up getting shot, or this guy ends up getting shot. I'm not sure if it's the old guy. I feel like it's the old guy, but I'm not entirely sure, but he doesn't want to be there, and basically the monsters come out. The monsters come out, and well, they get a hunger and start ripping the shreds out of all these people. Yeah, he must have escaped. I thought he got shot, but he's here, so he escaped. But it felt like it it was part of a plan to get the slavers in play with these unknown monsters, and these unknown monsters, now that they got a taste for blood, they're ripping them to shreds. Now this one, I'm not gonna lie, I'm trying to understand what this was about. It's a young boy's version. He talks about this woman that seemed trouble, but she's beautiful. Her mum died, and she was from Australia, and she likes going on the boats, and people thought she was a bit strange. And there's a notion that she has to marry a wealthy gentleman, that she may not want to marry a wealthy gentleman, but she has been told that she has to. And people talk about her constantly. And then one day, I think they had a lot of storms, and she ran away, and the Gardal found her petticoats on the shoreline, and I think come to the conclusion that it's her that is creating these storms. I think that's the idea that alien, and I'm sorry, I probably said that completely wrong, is causing it. So she's frightened. She tries to hide, helps asks the boy to hide her. He hides her in a boathouse. He promises food, clothes, and he won't tell a soul, but he betrays her. And she screams like a creature being dragged to hell, and she had to get married. She got married to this person who she didn't want to get married, but you can see that she remembers what he did, that he let her down. And later that year, there was a great fire in the big house where her and her husband lived, and burnt, and the boy was asked what he saw, and he told them there were only hairs fleeing the smoke. No bodies, no people, but apparently they all burnt. The flames burnt so hot that they didn't find any ashes, and apparently to this day you can still hear screams. So it's sort of like a myth, one of those myths you get told as a child, the myth of the white horse. It's one of those, and it was cool, but I just didn't grasp enough of what Aileen was about. What was her story? I feel like there's more to that story. Maybe we'll get another dose of this. And then we've got the usual hack little stories. New year, new me. Santa got my letter. Dad's dead. Larry waited and waited, but nobody wanted to kiss Larry under the mistletoe. Poor Larry. So the war. So last issue, which was looking quite promising. People were going to the house. They didn't make it to the house at all. But one of them is still alive. We also get our star of the show talking about, do we need guns? I don't want to go out there. It's bad enough I gotta see these dead bodies out there. We can't do it. His wife just looks absolutely shell-shocked and struggling. And this gentleman who's just says, I just want to talk. I don't want to come in. I can't do anything anyway. We came here to take your stuff, but just talk to me. Come on, I'm dying here. Give me a few moments of, I guess, respite. So they start talking, and he starts telling his story about their base of operations clearly wasn't fortified correctly, because we started feeling ill in a few days, and apparently your body can't deal with the amount of radiation coming into your body, so it sort of goes on this autopilot of in flooding you with in dopamine into your brain, that you feel good and you feel fine, but really you're not. And that's why these men decided to go go for it sort of thing, and they felt better for a while. So they got really caught out. They start talking about the sun as well. The sun being blotted out. Is that a permanent fixture? You know, or is it gonna not last very long? They talked about the Kremlin, the White House, and that these were going to be in their bunkers. So there was already an idea that these people were going to survive and things were going to be okay afterwards. But clearly not. And he's obviously imagining all his friends gone, dead. And then the story, the issue ends pretty much with I feel sorry for you. You're there, like in the bottom of the ocean, and you're running out of air. That's what's going to happen in this thing. They've got no fresh air coming in. And he says, I'm going to stop now. My wife just quit breathing. So I couldn't see this. I mean, I did look back at it, but I couldn't see that he was... that there was another real body there. It just looks like him. I thought he just had his mask off. So so I'm not sure if he's talking about his actual wife and this is all in his head. I'm not sure. And I've got the next issue. I'm hoping to roll that one out quite quickly. But yeah. Very, very interesting. And this story is the most interesting. I don't always get it, but it is the most interesting. And they've got this Hello Christmas Darkness, and then, you know, this beautiful piece at the end, which is absolutely quality. So another fantastic issue. This is still one of my favorite things to get. Hello Darkness. Still enjoying it very, very much. Definitely on my list to continue reading throughout 2025, or for as long as it lasts. You know, who knows with these things, but you know, as long as it's successful and we keep buying it, I think they'll keep rolling it out. So anyway, I hope you like my video. If you do, please do support my channel by subscribing. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Thank you to everybody that's subscribed to my channel already. Make sure you look after yourself, and as always, embrace geekiness. Take care. Goodbye.